Tonight, I'm going to be answering your business and personal questions live on the air. So stick around for all of that and much, much more that's coming right. Whoa! From Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell so that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. And as always, I'd like to start off the show by saying if you are open to suggestions and change, I can help you accomplish anything and everything that your heart desires, because that's what I am here to do. Each and every one of you is more than capable of accomplishing, I can't even talk, tremendous things. And I want to help you unleash and unlock your full potential. You may not realize how much potential you have, but once I can help you unlock and unleash it, you're going to see things that you could have never imagined were possible. And you're going to see that you're all capable of accomplishing amazing things, despite what you may be thinking deep within, right? I want to help you change your mindset so you can get to where you want to get to. Moonchild's in the house. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. Before we go any further, let me make sure that the notification has gone out on YouTube, and yes, it has. Let me also check the back end of YouTube and make sure that it's rolling smoothly. And it is rolling very well. And, the end stream button is red now in the back end. That is interesting. Okay. Once again tonight, we're also simulcasting live on Facebook, and let me just make sure that things are rolling smoothly on the Facebook side of things. Let's see. No one's on Facebook yet, at least. Sure that things are rolling smoothly on the Facebook side of things. Let's see. No one's on yes, Facebook it's rolling smoothly, right? Yes. iPhone 12 Pro Max. One person's there. I'm assuming that's probably Darren. Darren loves these shows. Oh, Shanair, how you doing? Welcome, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Tonight, I'm answering any questions that, my audience has, whether you're on the Facebook side of things or the YouTube side of things. I'll be going back and forth. If you don't hear me respond to your question right away, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just going back and forth from the YouTube side of things and the Facebook side of things. But before we even move further, let me once again pay special props to this channel sponsor. That's none other than the great Troy Brewer. He's an amazing longtime friend of mine that runs one of the most amazing and reliable and dependable and trustworthy marketing companies called the Discover Community Network. He is the CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network. And for all of your product and service needs from the most trusted professionals in the industry, please check out www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. One more time, that's www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. You can also visit a subsidiary of the Discover Community Network known as the DCN Internet Radio Network. And when you go on that website, you're going to find a bunch of talk and music internet radio stations. If you enjoy talk and music, type of radio, Troy more than likely has a station that suits your talk or music genre needs. So check out www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. One more time, that's www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. Both those links are below in the description, about a third of the way down on the YouTube side of things. And if you go to those websites and you also find out how to connect with Troy and you connect with him by phone or email, please do not fail to mention that Coach Eli, as always, sends you with lots and lots of love from Coach Eli, as always. All right, folks, good evening. Welcome to the show. I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to be on tonight. It depends how many questions I get. And typically, when I run these streams, for some reason, because they don't have a specific topic, they're not suggested or recommended to as many people as my other shows. My other shows have been getting some pretty good traction lately, so I figured I would, test out a question and answer stream. So feel free to ask any questions you have in the chat. Lewis Fuller's in the house. That's awesome. Thank you for being here, Lewis. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat on Facebook or on YouTube regarding any of your business and personal needs, or even your YouTube needs. If you're a content creator on YouTube and you're struggling to grow your channel, feel free to ask any of those questions, because that pertains to the business aspect of my coaching business. Other questions you may ask, any other business needs. If you're in the corporate world and you're looking to get that dream job, you just got a college degree, or even if you don't have a college degree and you're trying to find that perfect job, or you're already at that perfect job and you're trying to get promoted and you keep on getting passed up by someone that you feel is less qualified than you, I can help you overcome that. I've dealt with that, and I know exactly what it's going to take for you to get promoted the next time around or the time after that, okay? Or if you're tired of working in the corporate world or working for somebody else and you want to transition, you want to make the transition into becoming a self-employed entrepreneur, which is not that easy, I can help you make that happen. Feel free to ask any questions regarding that, because when you're making that transition from the corporate world or working from, for somebody else, you're making a certain amount of money and you're dependent on that money to pay your bills. And when you start your self-employment type of business, I can't even get the words out of my mouth today. When you start your self-employment type of business, you're not going to make money right away. So you have to work both jobs, and you have to learn to balance out both jobs and also balance out your personal life. And if you have kids or a husband or a wife or a boyfriend or a girlfriend or friends and family, you have to balance all of that in. And I can help you folks learn how to better balance that and still accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish as an entrepreneur. So questions like that definitely are on the table. Or if you have questions regarding the modern dating world, modern, relationship dynamics between men and women, even if you're gay or straight, lesbian, bi, or anything else, the principles are all the same. If you have any questions regarding the modern world of dating, I'd be happy to answer those, whether you're in a dating relationship or you're in a marriage. The same principles still apply. When you're married, there's really no difference than dating somebody and living with them, because, it's the same thing, with the exception of marriage, requires you to have this legal agreement between you folks and the state, right? Besides that, there really is no difference. And you also get tax benefits when you file your taxes jointly. But besides that, the same, principles regarding courting and dating apply to marriages as they apply to people that are not married. So I'd be happy to answer those questions for you in the chat. Let's see. So Shanera, I don't know if you're still around. It looks like there's nobody around. Shanera, you probably left. Maybe you were busy. Maybe you're just popping in. Again, if anyone pops on in on Facebook, feel free to ask any questions. Lewis Fuller is in the house here. He says, good evening, host. Good evening, Lewis. Moonshout says, hi, Lewis. Lewis Fuller says, I'm watching your ads in full. Well, thank you so much, Lewis. I appreciate that. I just gave you a like. Thank you for that. And he says, hello to everyone in the stream. Now, Moonchild and Lewis, I'm sure you folks have a lot of questions to ask, regarding maybe YouTube, or maybe your personal life, or, maybe, you're working a job and you're not happy working that job, and you want some advice on, how to do something that you more so love that will more than likely pay you even more than you're making now. You can make more money and also enjoy more of what you're doing. I can definitely help you folks with that. But in the meantime, while I wait for some questions to come in, I'm going to share with you folks a few things here that I struggled with before, I became as confident as I am today to do what I do, to be a successful entrepreneur. I made that transition from the corporate world into becoming self-employed. I've also had lots of dating experience, and even though I'm a single man, I thoroughly understand the modern world of dating and what it takes to make a relationship work in the modern world, or make a marriage work in the modern world. And just because I don't have anyone in my life, it doesn't mean that I'm not a good person or I'm not capable of being successful. All it means is that I just haven't found the right person yet. And that can happen to people. It happens. Sometimes you're not going to find that special person until your latter years. You're going to have some great relationships in your younger years that end up not working out. They end up running their course, and, for one reason or another, good, bad, or indifferent, they don't work out. And you find yourself being in your 40s and 50s, and you feel like you still want to have that true love and happiness, but you feel like it's too late and you're too old. That's not true. For many people, it happens at, a latter part within their life. And I'm here to share with you folks that, some people will learn these principles later than others. For me, I didn't learn these principles or start learning these principles until I was in my early to mid 30s. And I didn't have a completely solid knowledge of everything I know today until my early 40s. So, my dating life and the way I saw myself and the way I did things before I turned 40 were much different than, in this day and age. I'm not saying I was a completely different person. I've just learned a lot more. I've learned more about what to look for. I've learned more about how to pre-qualify people to date or friends that, want to become friends with me. I've learned more of what to look for, and I've also learned to use my strong intuition and, become instinctual, regarding whether something is worth my time to invest in or not, regardless of what it is, regardless if it's a business opportunity or a friendship or a dating relationship or anything like that. And I realized that I've always been good at one thing that many other people struggle with. And if you folks out there can learn to become good at this one thing, I promise you, it will change the rest of your life. It will completely change your life. And that one thing is communication. That's right. It's communication. How well do you communicate? Okay, how well do you communicate with others? And are you open to answering other people's questions? And are you willing to ask other people questions as well? How are you going to get to know anyone, regardless of what it is you're looking to connect with them for, whether it's a business or personal aspect? How are you going to get to know someone if you, A, don't ask them questions, and B, aren't willing to answer their questions? Now, with me, I've always been good at asking and answering questions, but I've encountered many people that aren't open to answering all questions or certain questions and don't ask a lot of questions themselves. I've primarily noticed this in the dating world when it comes to women. And I always tell guys and gals out there, regardless of how you meet a man or a woman nowadays in the modern dating world, whether it's online dating or in person, that's irrelevant. The same principle of communication applies. Okay, if you're meeting somebody online, like most of us do nowadays, especially during this COVID world, but it was already heading that way before COVID, right? If you're meeting somebody online, you send a few messages back and forth, and you get a good feel if that person would be someone you even want to invest a half an hour or an hour with on a phone conversation, right? If it's going well, you like each other's pictures, you like each other's profiles, you like how the communication feels through the Match.com app, for example, then you exchange numbers, send a few text messages, arrange a time to talk by phone, and get to the phone as soon as possible. Because that's what's going to make the difference right there when you get to the phone. Because it's going to allow both of you to ask each other questions and answer each other's questions as well. And for me, it's quite easy for me to see who's worthy of meeting in person and who's not. If I'm talking with a woman, for example, and I'm asking her a lot of questions to get to know her, and there's no right or wrong amount of questions to ask, because someone that's going to be honest and happy within themselves is not going to be afraid to answer anything and everything. Someone that's trying to hide something, if you are asking a lot of questions and they kind of sense that you're trying to pull out that side of them that they don't want you to see, they're gonna cut you off and say, "What is this, an interview? What is this, 20 questions? You're asking too many questions." And when that happens to me, that's game over. I find a way to either quickly end the conversation, or sometimes if the woman's really being rude, I'll just hang up on her and block her. I don't like to be rude and hang up on people and block people. Sometimes you have to do that. Okay? But the way I will respond, how I think about, what I think about when a woman says that to me, what is this, 20 questions? What is this, an interview? I say, well, I'm just trying to get to know you. And the only way I can get to know you is by asking questions. And then they say, well, don't you want to leave something for when we meet each other in person? And I come back and say, I'm deciding whether I want to even meet you in person by our communication on the phone call. And that typically will basically set them off and get them to realize that I'm trying to figure out if there's something that you're not telling me that's going to be a deal breaker for me down the road, so I don't invest any more time in talking with you on the phone or meeting with you in person when it's not going to work out, right? So somebody that's in a good place for whatever it is they're looking to accomplish, whether it's a job, a business partnership, or a dating relationship, is going to be willing to answer any and all of your questions, and they're going to ask you questions as well. I've come across women that also will say, well, I like to listen more than talk, and I don't really have any questions to ask you right now, but if I come up with something, I'll let you know. Let me tell you something. Women have a lot of questions to ask. If they're really into a guy, they want to know as much about him as possible. And they're going to ask a ton of questions. And if they're not asking you a ton of questions, it means that they have a very low level of interest. And you may want to try once or twice if you're having a short phone conversation with a woman like that, or if you're a woman having a conversation with a guy like that, and say, yeah, what other questions do you have for me? Well, I don't really have any questions. I'm just kind of going with the flow. If I get someone like that, I will quickly end the conversation after that point and move on, block their number, because they're not engaging. Someone that's really interested, like I said, in getting to know you for whatever they want to get to know you for, is going to ask you a lot of questions and is also going to answer all of your questions. And even if you ask them something, about their past experiences, and it's something that they weren't too proud of, they're going to feel comfortable talking about it because they've owned it and they've worked through it. And they want to let you know that, hey, Eli, this is something I typically wouldn't talk about, but you seem like a good guy. And I really want you to know I'm a real person. I'm really interested in getting to know you. This is what happened, and this is how I handled it. And I made a poor decision, but I learned from that. And see, if someone were to approach me in that way, I'd say, sorry that you went through that, but you know what? I respect the fact that you're able to come clean and, make me aware of this early on while we're getting to know each other. And that's a very attractive quality to me. And that also shows that, you're a great communicator, and, at least at this point, you seem to be a trustworthy person, and I could build trust with somebody like that, right? So does that make sense to you folks? Let me know. Let me know if that makes sense to you. So communication is the key element, one of the key elements to being successful at anything. If you don't communicate what you want, and if someone doesn't communicate back to you what they want, and they share their thoughts about what you've said, and they resonate with what you said, and you resonate with what they say, then how are you going to get anywhere? Okay? Now, why do you come across certain people that are poor communicators? Why do you come across certain people in life that when you ask them questions, you know, they don't want to answer all your questions, or, you know, they don't want to talk about certain things, right? That's because they're trying to hide something. They have an insecurity. You know, one of the best examples I can come up with, once again, is dating. If I'm a guy talking to a woman and I ask her questions and she feels uncomfortable answering them, it is because she hasn't worked through something yet. And she wants to hide that from me and other guys because she feels if any guy, including me, finds out what that issue is or insecurity is, we're going to dismiss her and, you know, move on to somebody else. And that's true. And that's exactly what a normal guy is going to try to do. And that's exactly what a normal woman should try to do to get to know a man and see, you know, if, you know, he's really ready for a genuine relationship. See, women will naturally always test a man and where he's at mentally and emotionally, right? Naturally, without even thinking about it. But then when you get a guy like me that's very intuitive, I know most guys are not as intuitive. It's more of a feminine thing. But when you get a guy like me that's as intuitive as a woman, I feel I have the male version of women's intuition. And I start asking them, you know, these questions, and I start testing them, you know, politely, right? They start to pick up on that, and they start to think, wow, he's asking me a lot of personal questions. Wow, what's really going on here? Well, man, I'm doing the same thing to you that you're doing to me. You're getting to know me, I'm getting to know you. You're testing me, I'm testing you. And I'm looking to see your reaction, and that's going to tell me whether you pass or fail my test, just like my reaction is going to pass or fail your test, right? It's called communication, right? So Moonshout says, that makes perfect sense. It makes sense. Nobody's over on the Facebook side of things. And on the YouTube side of things, nobody has any questions. We have, is it 6 or 8 viewers? It's funny, like on the top part of YouTube Studio, the back end, it says concurrent viewers. 8 went down to 7, and down below it says 6. So, folks, that's pretty much everything I had to say about this. I more so went live to answer your questions. And if nobody has any questions, I'm going to wrap up this stream in about 5 minutes. It's going to be a very, very short stream. I'm not going to try to drag a stream on where people don't have any questions. And, you know, I really wanted to do this stream, and I want to do more of these question and answer streams. But at the same time, I was kind of doing a test tonight because, you know, my streams lately have been getting some good traction. I've had some great topics. And I figured, you know, because the traction has been coming back to my channel, I would try a question and answer stream tonight and dissect it. And it looks like 2 things are happening. Number one, the people that have been here for my other content don't want to be a part of the question or answer stream. Or B, which is what I more so think is happening, YouTube is not recommending this stream to the people that have been coming here. And that's another thing you gotta figure out, folks. You gotta trial and error things. You gotta try things out and see what happens. And if it works, you know, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, try to figure out why it didn't work, and then make adjustments, you know, in ways that you feel it'll work better the next time. You know, once this stream ends, I'm going to look at my analytics, and I'm going to see how many people were here. I'm going to see how much of the stream they watched and where they dropped off, and I'm going to analyze it. But see, here's the thing. On another note, this is what I enjoy doing. This is how I help people. I help people by them asking me questions, and I answer their questions. So, you know, when I do these streams, this is what my primary purpose is for. And, you know, when there aren't any questions being asked, or, you know, people, as many people showing up, you know, it's kind of like one of those things that I have to figure out, you know, what's going to make this work better the next time around. So, folks, I'm going to wait another couple, 2-3 minutes. And if I don't get any questions at all, I'm going to start wrapping this up. I'm going to enjoy my night. Who knows? Because this stream was so short, I may come back later tonight with a late night stream and do a topic if I'm not tired. My sleeping pattern has been a little bit off lately. I've been more so staying up late, working on some things, getting some things done, and sleeping in the late night or early morning. Moonchild says, I don't have any questions at the moment. Sorry. That's no problem. That's no problem. Maybe everything's going great for you, Moonchild, and that would be awesome. I did get your message on Facebook, and I was able to access your podcast, and I will check it out later tonight, and I will let you know what I think. And let me just ask you this, Moonchild, before we get on out of here. You said you were thinking about putting that podcast out there publicly on your channel. And there has to be a reason for that. Are you yourself looking to get yourself out there and create some content? Is there something you're passionate about that you really want to share with the world where you feel you can make a difference in other people's lives? Like, let me know what your thoughts are regarding that before we get on out of here tonight. And it's not a bad thing that this is going to be a short stream because, I can relax and focus on some other things. Folks, you got to take things with a grain of salt in life. Things aren't always going to go as expected. In all honesty, when things don't go as expected, no matter how strong of a person you are, you're going to be a little bit bummed out. But I've gotten to the point in my life to where, I chalk things up, to them being it is what it is. I take things with a grain of salt and I chalk it up to, it being it is what it is. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. You give everything your best shot. Okay. You prepare a good show. You prepare for whatever you want to accomplish. And then you put yourself out there and then you see what happens and you react accordingly. And if things go the way that you had hoped they would have gone, then that's great. Continue to focus more so on that. If things don't go the way you had hoped they would have gone, try to dissect what happened and try to make adjustments and don't let it get to you. Don't get upset. Don't whine and complain. Don't cry. Keep up that positive attitude because at some point, if you keep pushing forward, it's going to make a big difference in your life. And for me, that's what's fueled me to move forward here. After everything I've been through on YouTube over the last 4 years between my former channel and this one, I have good days and I have days that aren't so good. This is one stream here where the engagement's not that great and there aren't a lot of people here. Maybe because it's Monday. Maybe it's after the weekend and Tom Brady won his 7th Super Bowl and people are recovering from drinking too much or whatever. Maybe some people are still working. I mean, it is 10:09 p.m. Eastern, 7:09 p.m. Pacific. But hey, maybe this wasn't the right day to do this, but that's okay. I'm going to look at the analytics. I'm going to figure out what happened, and I'm going to come back and attempt it in a better way the next time. And that's how you should handle these situations as well, folks. Before we get on out of here and get your questions in right now, because I'm about to go off the air in just a minute here. Okay. We've got 2 people on Facebook right now. It just seems everyone has content but me, and I thought it might be something people might find interesting, but I also worry about trolls. Okay, that's a question. Let me ask you something, Moonchild. You said a second ago that you didn't have any questions. And I'm not getting on your case. I have a lot of respect for you. I think you're an amazing person. But you said you didn't have any questions, when the truth of the matter is you do have questions and you have lots of questions. But you're not asking those questions for one of many reasons. Maybe you feel like you don't want to bother myself or bother other people. Maybe you feel you can figure it out on your own. For whatever reason it is, you didn't ask the question, but now I kind of tactfully, shrugged you politely to encourage the question that you wanted to ask, right? So here's the thing. No one's been trolled more on the internet, and especially on YouTube, than me. And if I can survive it and continue moving forward and continue creating this platform, and I'm going to call it an amazing platform, humbly speaking, because I put in a lot of work to get this where it's at today. If I can do it, anyone can do it. You can do it. You know, over the course of the last 4 years, I've bought better equipment, better lighting, better video camera, an Elgato Camlink capture card, a nice microphone. I've updated my laptop. I got a green screen. I've worked hard to make this happen, right? And on top of that, on top of the tech stuff that needs to work in order for me to do this, I got to, also figure out what am I going to talk about on any given day, right? And I've been trolled all this time. As you notice now, the trolling subsided. It's not as bad. You know why? Because these trolls know it doesn't get me anymore. They know it doesn't get me anymore. The secret is, Moonchild says, you are very strong, but I have been told I have no backbone. So why are you listening to those people that say you have no backbone? You do have a backbone. Do you feel you have no backbone? Let me ask you, Moonchild. Do you personally feel that you have no backbone? Because if that's how you see yourself, then you have no backbone. But if other people tell you that you have no backbone and you say, hey, screw you, I have a backbone. All that matters, Moonchild, is how you see yourself. It doesn't matter how other people see you. I'll say this again. I've said it many times. I'll say it again. The only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. So who cares if other people think you have no backbone? Like all these trolls and haters that used to come at me and still talk about me every now and then, they think I'm not qualified to be a life coach. They think I'm stupid. They think I don't know what I'm talking about. They say all these things about me, right? But is that how I see myself? Do I let them get to me? Did I let them get to me for a little while? Sure, I was learning the YouTube ropes, and that's what happened. You got to learn, how to deal with the social media ropes, especially out here on YouTube. But let me tell you something, in all honesty. The trolls are really no big deal. No matter what they do, even if they dox you, what are they going to do? They're going to show up at your place, and then you call the police on them and they get arrested for trespassing? The trolls are just trying to get a rise out of you because they're projecting their insecurities onto you. They don't love themselves, Moonchild. So in order to try to make themselves feel better, they try to kick you down and get a rise out of you to entertain themselves because other aspects of their life that they're not willing to work on to better themselves suck. And they just want to, dwell in their misery instead of fix the underlying issue. So what do? They come out here and troll on good people like you and me. And it's up to you and myself how we react to them and whether we let them get to us or not, right? Does that make sense? I grew up bullied. So did I. I don't know if you heard my story before. I've been bullied as well, too. I grew up bullied. It has made me passive, but I have stood up myself at times. Well, do you want to turn that around, Moonchild, or do you want to live the rest of your life, not taking chances that are going to get you ahead and make you happier than you already are? I've been in the same boat you've been in, Moonchild. I've been bullied. I was bullied in grammar school, throughout grammar school and my first 2 years of high school until I realized where the problem was. And you want to know where the problem was? It wasn't them, it was me. I was the problem. I was the problem because I allowed them to get to me. I didn't realize they were just having fun and projecting onto me, right? All I had to do was either ignore them or laugh with them, right? And just say, yeah, you got me, right? And be cool about it. But the more and more I overreacted and said, stop bullying me, right? They kept on bullying me because they knew it would get to me, right? But when I stopped coming out and saying, stop bullying me, stop teasing me, right? And I just played along with them, everything changed, right? So whose fault was it? Was it their fault or was it my fault? Now, granted, it's not nice for people to pick on people, right? So what they were doing was not the right thing. But did I handle it as best as I possibly could have? No. Now, I was younger and I had to learn how to handle that. But I did learn how to handle that once I got to my sophomore/junior year in high school. And that's helped me better deal with these situations as I've gotten older now. Does that make sense to you? Let me know if that makes sense to you. So, my advice to you, Moon Chao, is don't let anyone stand in the way of your success. Whether it be your family, your friends, online trolls, haters, you do you. And no matter how much people come at you and try to kick you down, even if they try to dox you, right? Even if they make threats. I've had people make death threats on me many times. I've had people try to, stalk me at my local park while I was live on the air. They called the police on me. Fortunately, nothing happened, right? I've had everything under the sun happen to me. Under the sun, the moon, because, I've been out there, in the day and the night, right? You get what I'm saying, right? And I've learned how to deal with it because what are they going to do? Unless someone shows up and just takes me out with one shot, then I'm going to keep moving on to live another day and fight through this and accomplish all of my goals, dreams, and aspirations. Yes, it makes sense. This is going to be a short show, folks. But it's a short show that if you watch this show over and over again, especially if you're struggling to accomplish something because you fear the repercussion or repercussions from other people, you got to get over that. This show will help you get over that. I want to ask you, Moonchild, you see how engaging I am? You see how communicative I am? And I'm not being disrespectful. I think you're an amazing woman. And it's been a great pleasure getting to know you. But do you see the lack of communication you're afraid to put out there because you don't want to get hurt again, right? But you also want to make something out of yourself, right? So you're thinking, okay, I don't want to get hurt, so I'm not going to say as much. I'm not going to communicate as much. But I'm not going to be happier unless I fulfill something more in my life. But I know that can't happen unless I communicate, right? So I'm realizing that you're having a hard time communicating, not because you're not capable, because you fear getting hurt or the repercussion. You got to put that behind you and say, screw it. I'm better than that. Nothing's going to stand in the way of me accomplishing whatever I want to accomplish, right? I've had stalkers too. Now, granted, I know you're female and I'm male. I get the difference there. But even if you have a stalker, what are they going to do? Unless they completely take you out, which I hope that never happens, and unless they completely take me out, which I hope that never happens, you're going to live to fight another day, right? So unless these people are going to do something that's going to put an end to, which I don't want that happening, then you're going to fight to live another day, right? Yes, I worry about flashbacks from being bullied. Well, here's the thing. I'll help you get through that. I want to help you get through that. And unfortunately, that's what's hindering your progress. But I think you're taking the right steps and you're moving in the right direction. And I hope that these streams and talking with me like we did, we'll talk again real soon, privately, okay? I hope that these streams and what I've tried to help you with has made a difference for you. It's just going to take a little more time. You give yourself a few months, maybe 6 months, maybe a year, and I bet you're going to completely work through this. And you're going to accomplish everything that you've always wanted to accomplish that you probably are thinking is not even possible, right? Your continued advice will help me get stronger. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm here to do. You know how I got stronger? I started to do more personal development on myself, about 15 years ago. Before that, I thought the personal development industry was a big joke, was a scam. It's all about the money and they don't care about me, right? The truth of the matter is, yeah, there are some people scamming people in the industry, but the truth of the matter is personal development is the most important thing for every individual out there. And if you continue to stick with it, you're going to continue to grow each and every day. You're going to get stronger each and every day. This whole YouTube experience, Moonchild, I'll wrap up with this. I was already a strong person before coming out here on YouTube 4 years ago. Before I even knew what a troll was. Maybe I had heard of trolls, but I didn't know how bad YouTube trolls were, right? But I learned that very quickly. And I had tough skin. I had very thick skin, but it wasn't good enough for YouTube and social media. I had to even become tougher. I had to even, get even thicker skin. And after everything I've been through, my skin is now 10 times thicker and tougher than the already very thick skin I had before I came on YouTube. You want to know what that's done for me? Nothing phases me anymore. Nothing scares me at all anymore. I'm not concerned about anything. Whatever's meant to be is meant to be. People can troll me all they want. They can dox me. They can talk about my ex-girlfriend. They can talk about my mother, my brother. They can talk about my dead father. I love my dead father, God rest his soul, but it doesn't bother me. They can talk about my friends. They can talk about anything. They can say I'm a bald loser if they want to say it. They've even said that. They've called me a bald loser, right? Somebody may cut this. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. American dream, support, respect. Oh my God, how you doing, bro? American dream. If you have questions, I'll stay on the air longer, brother. I got your American dream. I am going to stay on the air longer now that you're here. Not because you said a $2 super chat. American dream, you don't have to send money. Just chat. Bro, I got your email yesterday, and I will respond to you in the next day or two. That's a beautiful email, bro. You took a long time to write that. And I completely understand where you're coming from. But if you have any questions, please get them in the chat. I was about to go off the air, but you just saved the show, American Dream, showing up. You saved the show to go a little bit longer. And maybe we'll get some more people on Facebook to come on as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a quick break. And I'm going to go longer. Okay? Now, Moonchild, here's the thing. We got the ball rolling now, right? Moonchild, we got the ball rolling. You know I care about your well-being, and you know I want to help you, right? Now you're talking about it, right? Let's continue talking about it. Now, while I'm gone, think of any other questions, any other concerns you may have. Maybe you can share with me what you feel you need to do to make this better for yourself. How about we start there? Okay? You see how we're engaging in a conversation? We're communicating back and forth. I'm asking you questions. You're answering my questions, right? You ask me questions. I answer them. I ask you questions. You answer them, right? When you have a communication like that, that's when you get somewhere, right? When one side closes off and is not going to communicate, you get nowhere, right? Get some Moonchild. I don't give up on people. I don't. I know there's greatness in everyone. I'm not BSing you. I'm not giving up on people. I'm not. I was about to go off the air, but when you started talking, now it motivates me to stay on here longer. Now American Dream is here. He's going to have questions and motivates me to stay on here longer. Now, if there aren't any questions, I'm going to go on with my night and do something else. But hey, you know what? If you folks have questions and you need help, I'm here to do that. I'm here to help you. Dream, I'm going to answer your question when I get back, the one you just put in the chat there. Your email was amazing, bro. I respect you to the highest degree for taking the time to write. I mean, it was a long email. I like long emails. Folks, send me as long of an email as you want. But the fact that you took the time to write that long of an email to me, bro, it says a lot. It says a lot, man. You're a good guy. And we'll talk more when I get back. So, in Moonchild, I'll get to your question as well. You see what it takes to get the ball rolling, folks? You got to encourage people. You got to not push them over the edge or force them, but you got to give them a friendly nudge to start talking. If they don't start talking, nothing happens, right? If they don't start talking, nothing happens. Whew, man, I'm on fire right now. I'm literally burning up. All right, I'm going to cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Let's see here. Give me a second here. Just need one more. All right, folks, I'm going to step away for a 5 to 7 or 8 minute break. When I return, I'll be answering more of your questions. We're starting to get a little bit of activity happening now, so it's encouraging me to stay on live a little bit longer. So get your questions in, and I'll get to them when I get back. Stick around. We'll be right back. I'm back! Fully re-energized and ready to rock and roll the second part of the show here. Wow. No worries, Dream. I got your message here. I'm gonna answer your questions quickly, and if you want to stick around for that, that'd be great. If not, no worries. You can check out the replay if you want. I know you got to get going. Whew, man. Wow. Sometimes you need just a little, like, semi-intense music, music that'll put you in a trance and just allow you to think. Close your eyes and just think beautiful feelings. Picture what you want to accomplish, right? Yes. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube, and once again also simulcasting live on Facebook. Glad you could all join me tonight for a very special question and answer session by me, none other than Coach Eli. It is 10:38 p.m. Eastern Time and 7:38 p.m. Pacific Time here in my neck of the woods in the beautiful, glorious, amazing San Francisco Bay Area where I live. And the weather in Redwood City right now is 52 degrees Fahrenheit. I know people are still dealing with sub-zero weather back east. Sorry to hear about that. How's the weather doing in your neck of the woods, Moonchild? Has it gotten any warmer for you? Let me know when you get a chance. Baron Guitar. Hello, what is best in life? Well, Baron Guitar, I need you to be a little more specific because that sounds like a trollish type of question. You didn't specifically ask a question. But if you're not a troll, my apologies. I do get trolled a lot, and I am very intuitive, and I can pick up on trolling type of questions. But be a little more specific, and as I work my way through the chat, I'll answer your question. Let me check out Facebook real quick and see. Adrian, how you doing? Welcome to the show. If you have any questions, business or personal questions, feel free to get them in the chat. Glad you could join me here. And it looks like there's no one on Facebook. People are just popping by, saying hello and hi. And great, stopping on by and saying hello and hi is great. But what I would really enjoy more is having a conversation with you folks, even my Facebook friends from the past that are watching the stream over on the Facebook side of things. I know my streams are primarily catered to YouTube, but I do want to get my Facebook network more involved. So feel free to engage. Ask any questions regarding your business or personal needs and wants, etc. And I will, periodically check on the Facebook side of things as well. Okay. All right. So, American Dream, thank you once again for the $2 super chat. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate that. American Dream says, you are a very strong man. It gets frustrating and confusing on this YouTube thing at times. Well, look, American Dream and anyone else that's struggling to understand YouTube or social media. There's another great entrepreneur / content creator named Gary Vaynerchuk, known as Gary V. And, he made a statement one time that really resonates with me. He said, social media is not changing us, it is exposing us. One more time, social media isn't changing us, it is exposing us, right? And it really is, because people are coming out here and in many cases behaving in piss poor ways, especially some of the drama groups out here on YouTube. I can understand there being drama groups with teenagers and young adults in their early to mid 20s. But once you pass your mid 20s and you get into your early 30s, and you see these groups of people out here on YouTube that are, drama groups with men and women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond. It's pretty pathetic and it's pretty sad because by this point in these people's lives, they should have learned to become better people, learned how to better love themselves and better understand things, and not need to, conglomerate, with a bunch of people that are just projecting their insecurities amongst each other, right? And like I said in the past, those are the types of people that need the most help. They're just not open to it. So you can't help anyone unless they're open to the help, right? But, I'll tell you, YouTube and other social media platforms are whatever you want to make them for yourself, right? And one of the best ways to do it, in my opinion, and many other entrepreneurs' opinions, including Gary Vaynerchuk, is to give, and give. I give away the farm for free, right? I don't expect anyone to use my services. I do have paid services. I have phone coaching, email coaching. People can donate. They can super chat. They can send donations via PayPal or by Cash App. I don't even expect that. So one of the best ways to put yourself out there is to, just be you and do your best to help people. Figure out what you're good at and see if that particular thing you're good at is something that can make a big difference in other people's lives. That's why I do what I do. Personal development has made the biggest difference in my life. And that's why I now have devoted my life to help as many people as possible, better their lives by learning to understand what I've, learned to understand and what's better than myself. So I appreciate that American dream. I wasn't always this strong. I was always an outgoing, friendly type of person. But in my younger days, I used to be a big sissy. I used to, cater to all the crazy things women would want me to do rather than standing up for myself and saying that I'm not going to put up with that, right? Same thing with my friends and family and other people. I used to always succumb to their wants and needs and never took my own wants and needs and feelings into consideration. And I say that in a non-selfish way, okay? When you're communicating with people and you're dealing with people, it has to be a two-way street. And if you're giving, and giving, let's say you're in a relationship and you keep giving, and you're not getting anything back in return from the other person, that's not a fair trade, right? I teach people to learn how to better negotiate things in their lives and make it fair and equal. And if it doesn't work with that person, remove yourself and find other people that, are going to, better work with you or for you, Moonchild says, yes, I didn't think of that question initially. It popped in my head when you mentioned the video I sent. And that's why I do what I do, Moonchild. I do what I do because I've been in your shoes before where I have been closed off. I wasn't willing to talk about certain things. I wasn't willing to ask certain questions. And that was hindering my life. It wasn't allowing people to get to know more about me. When people don't get to know a lot about you, they can't trust you to want to work with you in some capacity at a business level or even date you on a personal level. If two people are trying to get to know each other to see if they can build a relationship off of that in the dating world, how are you going to get to that point if you don't communicate and learn about each other? And if you both aren't great communicators, how's that going to ever take off in the first place? Why even try if you're not going to communicate, right? You know what I'm saying? So for me, I've learned not to, force people to talk. I tactfully, kindly, and professionally give them a friendly nudge once or twice. And if that friendly nudge doesn't work once or twice and they don't respond to it in some way, shape, or form, I back off and let them figure it out on their own. And if they want to talk further after that, they can reapproach me. So that's the type of person that I am. And that's part of what I do here as a coach because that's what I needed before I became as strong as I am today. Like American Dream 1.5, is saying. American Dream 1.5 says, I'm happy to have a person who has gone through similar circumstances like me. Only thing I haven't gone through is marriage, but it's no different than dating someone and living with someone. Now, the difference with you is you're going to be dealing with the state and a divorce settlement and all that. And I don't think you have any kids, American Dream. If you do, then you're going to have, child custody things to work out as well. But I don't think you have any kids. But yes, I've been through similar things. And I understand the modern dating world as best as possible. Give me a second here. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. And, I've learned how men and women are in the modern world. And I've also learned where to invest my time and where not to invest my time. If, I'm looking to find true love with a woman, I want to ensure that she's looking for the same thing off the bat. I'm not saying that I want us to fall in love right away, or we're going to talk on the phone once and meet and then get married and have kids right away. No. But I want to be talking with someone that's in a similar mindset and has the same goals and desire the same outcomes, right? And the only way you can find that out is by asking questions, right? So you ask those questions. Even if women say online they're looking for a relationship, you ask them that when you get on the phone because some of them just put that out there just so you can communicate with them, and they're just seeking validation. So you ask them on the phone, and then you ask them in person maybe one time and say, yeah, I'm really enjoying this. What are you open to? What are you looking for in the future, right? Don't be afraid to ask questions. If somebody is on the same page as you, they're going to let you know. And it's better to find out sooner than later before you invest too much time and waste your time and their time, right? Yes, it's nice to have someone who understands. I appreciate that, Moonchild. I appreciate that. American Dream 1.5 says, give me a second here. I haven't met many long-term friends on YouTube, maybe because most of the people I met are not involved in helping others. Coach Eli, thank you for being different. American Dream, you've been involved with YouTube drama, and so have I. Now, I didn't intentionally get involved with the YouTube drama sphere. I was initially trying to connect with people such as, Jamie, who runs the Lichen Theory channel, and the Punkstatic channel, right? And, Jamie was not a drama king initially. Jamie became a drama king because he saw how other drama channels were making lots of money. And he also saw there's an audience of people that used to be a part of my channel that I rejected because they were drama people. And he, picked them up, brought them to his channel, and basically changed his content from helping men understand the same things I help both men and women understand. Jamie used to run the Purple Pill channel, and he was trying to help other men understand modern day relationship dynamics. And because, he gave up on that and he wasn't getting, traction fast enough or making the money fast enough he wanted to make, he ended up going down the drama sphere zone, right? And then we all got caught up in that, right? Now I know what happened. Initially, all these people I was involved with were not drama people. They became drama people because they found a way to make quick money and quickly monetize, drama, rather than doing what I do, taking the long-term approach, working harder and slowly building an audience with something that's more enlightening and more sustainable long-term. So you got caught up in the drama sphere, bro. We've all been there, right? So it is really nice to come across some great people. And I'm continuing to build this channel with more down-to-earth, normal, real, open-minded people that are willing to share their stories, and together we can learn from each other and become better together. The more I even learn from you folks, the more it betters me and the more I learn. I'm actually learning from you folks at the same time. So it's a two-way street. You know what I mean? So Baron Guitar, it's minus 40 here. Wonderful. That's pretty cold, man. That's pretty freaking cold. Wow. Where are you at? You're somewhere back east with that cold front, where that cold front is. American Dream 1.5, thank you for listening and letting me be a part of your community. Anytime, American Dream 1.5. It is 60 in Texas. Wow, it's warmer there than here. That's good, bro. At least you're not freezing your tushy over there, right? Slender Man, I need your help, coach. Well, Slender Man, you've been here before, and I don't know which Slender Man you are. I'm sure I know you. What do you need my help with? Moonchild, send me some warm weather, LOL. Well, come over here and hang out with me in the Bay Area, and you'll be just fine. Or go and hang out with American Dream. It's 60 degrees there. It's 8 degrees warmer where he's at in Texas than where I'm at here in the Bay Area in Redwood City. Adelaide's Advice Addict. Hello, Eli. Adelaide, do you have any questions, comments, concerns? You've got questions, I got answers. What's up, Adelaide? How you doing? Where's Lewis Fuller? I thought he was here earlier. Where are you, Lewis? Slender Man says, where I come from, marriages are arranged by family. Well, I would never agree to an arranged marriage. And in the modern world, I know there are still some cultures that live by that. I just wouldn't do it. There are TV shows now that are, based off of cultures that have arranged marriages. And it's interesting to me. Like, these are young kids in their late teens, early 20s. And both the young man and the young woman, they're very attractive, but they just can't get along. It's typically like the man, not wanting to commit, right? And the woman's trying to make it work just because it's part of her culture. But look, in my honest opinion, arranged marriages just won't work because you can't force chemistry and compatibility amongst people. Chemistry is either there or it isn't when you meet someone, right? And if it's not there naturally between those two people, there's no way you can force it. It's ridiculous. I need your help and or advice to start new beginning. Well, Slender Man, do I know you? And I know you're not going to identify yourself. I'd be happy to answer your questions if they are serious questions and you're not trolling. But what may I help you with? Can you be more specific? I cannot help people that speak in general ways. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's all good. Nothing happening over on the Facebook side of things. So, all right. Looks like I'm caught up with the chat. I'm going to wait to see what Slender Man says and if anyone else has any other questions. And I'll keep this going for a bit longer if we keep getting some questions. And if not, we're going to wrap it up. So, Slender Man, you said, okay, there you go. We learn to love each other so wife doesn't suffer punishment from family. Okay, so you learn to love each other so wife doesn't suffer punishment from family. Well, God, it would not have been a stream without Robert coming in and asking a stupid question. On a channel called Main Account. I'm not even going to read that. You folks saw that in the chat. Here's the thing, Slender Man, whichever Slender Man you are. I don't believe in arranged marriages. They don't work. You can't force chemistry. Chemistry is either there or it isn't. Okay? People are either compatible or they're not. You cannot force compatibility. And look, every culture has the right to do whatever they want to do, right? And I get it. Some kids that are raised in certain cultures are basically forced to go down this arranged marriage route, which I never would go down myself. Fortunately, my culture is not like that. It's one thing to be set up with somebody, go on a few dates and see if it works. It's another thing to be forced to marry someone because of your culture. That's just my opinion. God loves me. If that's the real you, let me know. I'll send you the message on Hangouts. Let me know if that's you, and I'll send it to you on Hangouts. You can send me a message on Hangouts if you want. It was a pretty stupid question, and I'm sure it was Robert on one of his few remaining sock accounts. How you doing tonight, God loves me? Welcome to the show. So yeah, no, I mean, if I was a part of a culture that was forcing arranged marriages, I would stand tall. And if that means my family would disown me because I wouldn't allow them to force me to be someone that I have no compatibility with, I just wouldn't do it. You don't have to prove it, but I don't want to send you a message you don't want to get. Hello, here's what was said. Hold on. Come on, that was totally a stupid question. You know, GLM, that was more than likely Robert. By the way, DeRosa Show channel. I'll speak about DeRosa real quick here. He reached out to me today, left me a comment on my channel. It went through, but then he deleted it. Why do people leave me comments and delete it? So DeRosa's unbanned here. And he wanted me to unblock him on Hangouts chat, which I did. And then we started talking about, this other super troll. And I sent DeRosa a bunch of videos. They're not on my main channels. I would never put these types of videos on my main channels. They're on some deep, secondary and third channels. And I'm sure he'll probably be doing a show soon with the video links I sent him. I sent him about 6 video links. And he's like, wow, because he's been talking about, that super troll Robert, and he believes me that, Trim hits, the sock account Trim hits, and Ronaldo are both Robert. I've known that for a while. I do have an RO on the guy. And if it wasn't him, why is he not getting his attorney to, challenge the RO? Like, if somebody got an RO on me that was invalid, I would fight it. Like, come on, let's be real here. Slenderman says, in my country of birth, we have no other choice. Well, you do have a choice, bro. You have a choice to be compliant, or you have a choice to be a rebel and live your life. So, I mean, what are they going to do in your country if you don't comply? Do they execute you? Nobody does that anymore, dude. And if you continue saying that, I'm going to assume that you're trolling me. But I get it. I was just joking, says God loves me. You don't need to read a troll comment. You saw it though, right? This is like the weirdest troll ever. They aren't the same people, bro. Are you talking about Slenderman being the weirdest troll ever? This version of Slenderman? Yeah. Do you think that Slenderman is a troll Slenderman? It might be Robert for all I know. He's the only one that would make the effort to continue this facade when everyone else has just gone on and done their own thing and they don't really troll that much anymore. You know what I'm saying? So that is that. But folks, we are at 1 hour and 20 minutes. I'm going to start wrapping this up really soon unless we have some other questions. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, get them in the chat. Yeah, I'm not gonna put that out there, Slender Man. You got held for a review. I think that this Slender Man is a troll. So we're gonna go ahead and just ban Slender Man. People still want to troll, and that's fine. It's all good. But you know what? No. I'm not saying that this was definitely Robert. What's the funny thing, GLM? Haha. That Slender Man got banned? Who knows? That might be ODN. That could be JT. There are many people that had Slender Man accounts. That could be a woman that I haven't spoken with in a while. Who knows? Who knows? Lots of people still like to troll me. I didn't think that was the real Slender Man. No, GLM, I never said that. You popped in after Slender Man came in. That was not the real Slender Man, GLM. And you know that I knew that. It's all good. It's all good. So, folks, get your questions in, or I'm going to shut this down in a few minutes here. Again, like I've been saying throughout the entire show, you got to be open to answering other people's questions and asking questions to other people to get to know them. You got to be an open-minded person. If you struggle answering other people's questions, or you struggle asking questions, then something just isn't right. Because if you truly are interested in getting to know someone, whether it's for a relationship, business partnership, or whatever you're trying to accomplish, you're going to have a constant flow of a two-way communication with that person. You're going to ask questions, they're going to answer. They're going to ask you questions, you're going to answer. It's going to be a free-flowing, smooth conversation with no hesitation. People that, hesitate and say, oh, you're asking too many questions. What is this, 20 questions? What's an interview? These are the people that are trying to hide something. So I share these tips here, folks, so you folks can identify them when you're talking with someone and realize that if you're talking with someone like that, they're just not ready for whatever it is that you connected with them for. And you got to politely let them go. And if they're not being polite, you got to just block them and move on. That's it. Don't waste too much time on people that aren't ready to move forward with you regarding whatever you're trying to move forward in, whether it's business or personal. It could be a bearded dragon Slender Man. A bearded dragon Slender Man. I'm not reading the underlying message, GLM, but that's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. All right, folks. I'm going to wrap things up. I'm going to check out Facebook one more time. Adrian says, I agree 7 minutes ago. Excellent. Glad to see that you're still around. Like I said, I'm going to start wrapping things up here in a few minutes. If there aren't any other questions, folks. Again, I was just testing out tonight to see how well a question and answer stream would work, because that's what I primarily, want to do to help people. It was quite interesting. Started off a bit slow, and then it kind of picked up a little bit. And, it is Monday. It is the new week, and I'm sure there are some other streams going on. But all in all, folks, I really felt good about doing this show, and I hope you got some great value out of this. And if you really want to, better yourself and put yourself out there in the best way possible, watch this show 2 or 3 times. I'm not saying that to give me more watch time or anything. Like, I'm already monetized. I'm just saying for your benefit, watch this 2 or 3 times and try to understand what I'm saying. These are things that I've experienced, and I turned around to put myself in the position of where I'm at today, and to see myself in a better way today than I used to see myself in the past. Moonchild says, thanks for your advice tonight, Coach Eli. You're welcome, Moonchild, and thank you for being here. So nothing else happening on the Facebook side of things, nothing else on YouTube. We're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everyone for being here. Thank you to Moonchild. Thank you to God Loves Me, GLM. Thank you to Lewis Fuller was here earlier. Also, Adrian's advice addict was here earlier. Thank you so much for being here. Baron Guitar, you never asked me a question. You said, is it better to invest or start a business with capital in this climate? That's what you asked. I didn't see your question. Sorry about that. I mean, it's up to you. I don't think this environment is a bad environment. If you're saying because of COVID or because of what happened with the GameStop thing, the hedge funds, all of that, I think you got to figure out what's best for you and do what's best for you. If you have a passion and a purpose and you want to create something, you got many options to start a business for free nowadays. Now, it's going to take you some equipment if you want to do a YouTube channel and some time and research and all that. But, if you're passionate about something and you want to get that message out, start a YouTube channel. Create a Facebook business page, get on LinkedIn, get on Twitter, get on Instagram. Start putting yourself out there. If you have some spare money, and when I say spare money, I mean that you're willing to part with in case things don't go your way investing, then invest. If you want to invest, it's up to you if you want to invest. In my opinion, a combination of both, if that's, what you feel comfortable doing, but you have to figure that out on your own, right? You have to figure out what you feel is best for you. I don't know your financial situation. I don't know if you have a family, if you, are single. I don't know what your responsibilities are. So you got to look at all of your responsibilities, look at your income, look at how much disposable money you have, and are willing to risk and can afford to risk, right? So that's that, that's a decision that you need to make on your own. I can't make that for you. I can encourage you to do what you feel is right and motivate you, which is what I do. But, I'm not a financial advisor. I am a business coach, so I can encourage you to start a business, but you got to sit there and figure out what you're passionate about. And do you feel that this is something that would better the world? Do you feel you could build an audience doing this? If you can build an audience doing it, then you can make some good money while doing something that you enjoy. So there you go. There you go. All right, folks. With that being said, have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye-bye.